Welcome to our daily reading exercise. We read every day the complete guide to fossils and fossils collection, and this chapter is today early trees cycads. Plants can be divided into two groups: sporophytes reproduced by spores, simple cells with no food, store, or protective coat. In spermatophytes, male and female cells come together and resulting fertilized cells develop into seeds. Spermatophytes are divided into gymnosperms, like its seed, including cycads, cycadioids, and benitentalis, caudoctales, ginkgos, and conifers, and the flowering plants. Williamsonia. Below the fronds of Williamsonia are characteristically slender. Like all cyadioids, they have many small leaflets or pinnae alternating on either side of the main stem or midrib. This pattern is known as the Tylophyllum type and differs from cycadales, in which the pinnae usually occur in opposite pairs. Cycads were among the dominant large plants found in the Mesozoic era. The cycadales include both fossils and living forms, with about 100 extant species in Mexico, the West Indies, Australia, and South Africa. While the cycadioids are all extinct, Williamsonia is the best known cycadioid. The trunk was long and slender, although it could be short and bulbous in other cycloids, and the leaves narrow and frond-like. Fossil cycadioids and cycadales can be distinguished if the leaf cuticle is exceptionally well preserved and cell wall can be seen under the microscope. They are quite different in their reproductive structures. Cycadales produce conifer-like cones, while cycloids had flower-like structures that suggest they could play a part in the origin of true flowering plants, the angiosperm. Cycadioidea. Cycadioidea was one of the most common North American cycadioids. Its fossils are usually of the short, almost spherical or barrel-shaped trunk that was topped by a crown of fronds. When these trunks are well preserved, several buds can be seen embedded just below the surface. These buds bear many small ovules in a central structure surrounded by filaments bearing pollen sacs with the male cells. It was thought that these buds would later emerge as flower-like structures, but they are now known to have remained closed and were probably self-pollinated. Cycadea was a very common plant in the Cretaceous period of North America, but it's rarely found elsewhere. The leaf bases are usually preserved, covering the trunk, making many of the fossils resemble petrified pineapples. Petrified. Remember? Petrificio. I'm not sure. Cycadites. The fossil leaf cycadite is found in many parts of the world, from the Indian subcontinent through to Scandinavia. Despite its abundance, however, comparatively little is known of cycadites and life. This is because well-preserved fossils of the whole plant are exceptionally rare. The plant seems to be more closely related to the cycadales than to cycadoids, as evidenced by the leaflets emerging in opposing pairs from the main stem or midrib. Cycadate is an example of firm genus, a scientific name that is assigned to a certain part of plant, as with examples such as Xeronius medulosa, which have been detailed on previous pages. This has resulted in numerous difficulties for researchers and scientists in identifying and naming specimens. Other cycads fragments similar to cycadids include Pagophyllum and autozemites. Zemites. Zemites is like cycadids, form genus, and its fossil relief is extremely similar in form to the living cycads genus Jamia. Today, Jamia is found exclusively in the Americas. Its habitat ranging from Georgia, USA, south to Bolivia. Zemites and similar forms have been found in places as far apart as France, Alaska, and Australia. A pattern which suggests that Zamia, our ancestor, had a much wider geographical distribution in the past. This makes Zemites very interesting from the point of view of biogeography, which is the study of distribution of animals and plants across the planet. The oldest cycad fossils are from the early Permian of China, some 280 million years ago, and show that cycads have remained virtually unchanged through their long history. In general, our typical cycads look outwardly like a palm tree or tree fern. with a trunk-like stem that can be either short and bulbous or taller columnar, crowned by an umbrella of arcing evergreen fronds. Cycads have ranged widely in size, some ground-hogging at just 10 centimeters, others more tree-like at almost 20 meters. Their average height, however, is about 2 meters or 6.5 feet, taller than me. Some types are informally called cyberpalms, although they are not true palms. So that was all from early tree cycads. Let me show you the pic. That's Williamsonia. This is Cycadiodia. Cycadiodia. There. Cycadides. And finally, Zemites. So that was all from my side today. There you go. Bye.